I'm here with Oren Alexander. He's a co-founder of Official, which is a side-powered brokerage. Oren is a former top agent at Douglas Elliman who recently decided to branch out on his own. So I was very curious, Oren, what prompted the move? I mean, obviously we're doing great at Elliman, one of the top agents of the company. What made you say, all right, it's time to start my own shop?
So I started at Douglas Elliman in summer of 2008.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time, and I rised in the ranks and managed to finish the last 3 years in the nation of Douglas Elliman at number one. So obviously there was this desire to do more, and the opportunity came once I was able to find great, in my opinion, the best operators. My brother and I felt that in our current position, or our previous role at Douglas Elliman, we felt that we weren't having the opportunity to differentiate ourselves from the brand of Douglas Elliman.
And you guys always had your own sort of philosophy about the business, right? I think the way I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, is like travel to where the clients are, live their lifestyle, and in the process, sell some real estate.
Yeah, I'm actually next week off to Dubai, and then
my hometown,
and then Abu Dhabi for the Formula One race, followed by the opening ceremony in Doha for the World Cup. So we felt that the brand just wasn't there with us, meaning when we were going to these events and the people that we were meeting and the clients we were meeting, we were never proud to tell them we are at Douglas Elliman. We were at the Alexander team, and that was our brand.
Yeah.
And that was what differentiated ourselves from the other 6,500 agents. So for us, we felt that the segment of the market that we were attacking, which was truly the top end, that the brand just wasn't there with us because they were spread too thin. The same brand, the same logo might have been on a $500,000 property in Westchester, and yet they want to put on my $50 million listing in Miami.
I think that's a challenge that a lot of sort of luxury agents face, which is how can you make the company work for you? Because you're independent. At the end of the day, you're independent contractors, right? How do you make the company work for you as opposed to you working for the company? That's the perennial tension in brokerage.
Yeah, I think every agent needs to take a look and see what they do for the company versus what the company actually does for them. And don't forget to take a look at your independent contractor agreement and see what the company expects from you when you leave, because that's when you'll understand where the weight is.
But let's talk about the challenges. So starting your own shop, you're not just a deal maker anymore. You've got to be a manager, a motivator, sort of got to rally the troops, right? I'm assuming you're building out a team. What are some of the challenges that have come with that?
So fortunately for us, we're not in the managerial role. Our role is as we were at the Alexander team. We're currently still operating the Alexander team. We are part of important decisions on behalf of Official and the brokerage, but the day-to-day managerial and operations of Official is handled by our three co-founders, which is Richard Jordan, our CEO, Nicole Gay, who's our CMO, and Andrew Walkfold.
These are all Elliman alum, by the way.
Correct. At some point of their careers, they were at Douglas Elliman, as Douglas Elliman is, or was the leader in the market. Right. So they did have some of the best talent, and I think if you look at a lot of the great companies, tech companies, they were founded in other great companies. Yeah. So I don't think there's anything unique about that. But for us, in our role in the previous 14 years at Douglas Elliman, we managed to develop certain relationships across the industry, and recognizing where the real talent is and bringing them all together under one roof, which we call Official Partners.
So what is the hope with it? Let's say in the next, wherever the market's going is fine. There's always going to be very wealthy people, the segment you deal with. Whatever happens to the broader economy is almost a sideshow, right? There's always wealthy people who need to spend money. So what's your hope for the company, let's say in the next 18 to 24 months? Where do you want to be? Or do you want to be a boutique brokerage? Do you want to be something else?
Yeah, it's a great question, because last night was the famous Paul Allen art auctions, where they auctioned record pricing, talking about 3 paintings that each sold for over $100 million. About $1.5 billion of art was auctioned from one collection. So that shows you that at the top end of the market, people still have the money and still have the means and still have the desire to purchase large assets. So we believe that relative to the rest of the market, our sub-market of truly the high end is rather shielded. And we wanted to create a brokerage that speaks to just that market across these various markets around the world. So I felt bad today listening to Robert Refkin and speaking to some top agents at Compass who say, Oren, we're okay. I said, you're right. we are in our small sub-market of the truly high-end here in Miami, but they have exposure to all these outside markets that are not going to be okay.
Correct.
So that's the purpose of what we're trying to accomplish at Official, is that we don't want to spread ourselves into markets that fluctuate in downturns.
So it's all going to be luxury, luxury, luxury. Is that the primary or sole focus?
Correct. Can you name today one truly luxury brand in the residential brokerage space around the world?
That only deals with, let's say, 10 million and up? I don't think it exists necessarily yet.
Well, that's what we're looking to create.
All right, good luck with it.
Thank you.
Thank you.